Baby, let me love you. Let me love you. Baby, let me love you. Love you.
Baby, let me love you. Let me love you. Baby, let me love you. Love you. And baby, you're my muse. I wanna see you.
Okay. I love it. All right. We are here today to answer some of your questions that you all have been putting in the comments section. And we thank you all for your questions. We are so happy that you all have been tuning in. I got a piece of hair on my lip. Okay, there we go. We are so happy that you all have been tuning in. We really, truly appreciate the support. Y'all been giving us so much love. Oh my God. Thank you so much for that. Y'all are awesome. And we want to answer some of your burning questions. One being, well, we did a video about the site that we met on.
Right.
Which was
Hinged.
And people, I guess they didn't hear what we said. So we're going to say it again. We met on Hinge.
Hinged.
Hinge. We met on Hinge. And you also wanted to know the timeline of us meeting on Hinge, which was end of June.
Like I said, end of June.
July of 23.
22.
22? Oh, okay. My bad. Okay, 22. It's okay. 22. Okay. 22. And then we started talking.
We
talked every single day.
Every single day over the phone.
So let me go to the questions because I don't want to not answer your questions directly. Someone said, how long did you guys talk on the site before getting engaged or knowing that she or he was the one? And this is from, I don't know how to pronounce it, so I don't want to, DA Intuitive TT. The Intuitive TT. Hello, the Intuitive TT. Ding, 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 ding. So she wants to know, how long did we talk on the site before getting engaged or knowing that he or she was the one? How long before you knew I was the one? We kind of answered this before already, right?
It was not even, like I said, when I first saw you, saw your picture, I knew you were the one.
He was like,
going,
who's that girl?
La, 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 la. And then, so moving forward, I think we talked, I want to say a good 6 months to a year.
Before we met?
Babe, that's not the question.
Before we got engaged? Okay.
Before not even the engagement. You asked, what was the question before the engagement?
How long did you guys talk on the site before getting engaged?
Talk on the site. Babe, so when I said
it was not 6 months, babe. We started talking the end of June, around the 1st of July.
So, okay, how long did we talk on? We probably talked. So we talked on the site. What, like a month or so?
No,
month or two. We didn't talk long.
On the site. We talked, but no, you said 6 months, so don't try to act like I'm messing.
No, because I'm speaking about the site, babe.
We talked on the site for how long?
We didn't talk. We talked on the site briefly.
It was,
and I guess that's why it's so
throwing us off a little bit.
We didn't talk on the site long, you all.
Okay, sorry about that. Rewind.
Because we don't want y'all to like. Okay.
You know they gonna start. They gonna be like,
So we talked on the site not long.
Maybe
it wasn't even a month.
Yeah, I was gonna say about 3 weeks to 4
weeks. Because
and then I was comfortable enough because after the first couple of conversations on through the messenger on the site,
right?
You asked me
would it be okay
if we talked
on the phone.
And I was like,
and that was probably like in a good 2-3 weeks time.
It was before that you asked me.
Well, yeah.
But then we didn't actually talk because I was in training for the job.
Right.
So you left me a voicemail and that's when I heard your voice.
Right.
And I was like, oh my God, he just sounds.
And then you said, and you was like, okay, it was okay for us to talk.
I wanted to hear your voice first because I was like, he might be crazy. I ain't just want to jump on the phone with him. You know, I'm like, just in case I had to ghost you there.
And I was the same way.
Yeah, whatever. You already knew when you saw me. You was like, that's my wife right there.
So we started talking on the phone. And like I said, our connection, we hit it off.
Yeah.
So
we did.
So good.
Mm-hmm.
And talking on the phone, you know, that's when we found out about each other's spiritual lives. And
so the second part of her question, though, not to cut you off, but I wanted to get to the second part of her question.
Okay.
Which was how long did we talk on the site before getting engaged? We got engaged on,
was it January? No, December 31st.
We gonna do that again. Rewind. You don't remember when you proposed?
Yeah, babe, it was December 31st.
Okay.
We didn't get engaged right away. We still had to get to know each other. We had to meet each other. We still had to go through the actual
dating process.
Me courting her,
right,
taking her out,
right.
Because understand, she wasn't here yet.
Right.
So we did all of the talking over the phone, falling asleep on the phone with each other. So initially we didn't get engaged until New Year's.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So.
Yep. So that's New Year's of this year.
New Year's of this year.
This year. So when you all ask, why are you not just going and getting married at the courthouse? Like we want to have a wedding. we went
through the actual process of getting to know each other.
Yeah.
It wasn't just because we said we had a connection. Mm-hmm. We just didn't go, run to the courthouse. We're going to hurry up and get married because we got a connection.
And you know what, babe? That's what a lot of people do when they're younger. And that's how they end up. Because, see, you got to understand the difference between chemistry and actually, you know, just you can have chemistry with a lot of different people. Right. You really, truly can. But it's the difference between having chemistry and knowing that this is your person. You got to go past chemistry. Right. So we had to do that. But what would you say to the people who are like, because I seen a couple comments that asked, they said, well, if y'all know this is from God, why are y'all waiting to get married?
Again, because we still had to go through the actual.
They're saying now, like, since we know it's God, why are we not getting married tomorrow?
Because we want a wedding that we can remember.
Yeah, and not only that,
and it's not so much as a rush, but we want to do it the right way.
And we don't have a need to, like, see, I think people are coming from the perspective of like, don't y'all want to do it? You know what I'm saying? Like, I think that's the perspective people are coming from.
I think also through lessons learned and wisdom and teaching and everything that we have been through.
Yeah.
That wasn't the goal. Not for us to just hurry up and get married so we can jump in the bed together. That wasn't even a thought. That just wasn't there.
Not only that, we cherish what we have so much that it deserves a special moment. Our family, our friends are excited about this. Everyone wants to be there. Listen, we actually were going to have something smaller. Right. But my daughter insisted that we do a big wedding because she's just like, y'all got to celebrate this. So that leads me into the other comment. And I can't remember who had the question. I'm sorry. I want to shout your name out. But they asked, let me see if I can find it real quick. They asked if, I can't find it. They asked if our family, did we have any haters? Did we have anybody that like was not happy for us? And if so, how did we handle that?
We didn't have any.
We didn't have that. The only hate that we got was when we started this channel from some of the trolls in the comment section.
Yeah, that was the only hate.
We didn't have no hate. Everybody is happy for us.
My mother loves her.
And I love her. That's my girl. Listen, This is truly a God thing. My family loves him, y'all. Okay, so I got to tell them about this with Pops. My father. Now, I already had fallen for Donovan. I already had this, I want to be with him. But I was still waiting on that stamp of approval from my dad because my father's a minister. And not only that, but he has great discernment when it comes to people. He's a retired minister now, but he has great discernment when it comes to people. And I was sold on Donovan. Like, I was sold on him. His family was sold on me. Like, everybody loved, us together. But for me, I needed Pops to like be like, okay. And that, because if my dad would have been like, no, we wouldn't be sitting here right now. And I'm telling you the truth, because that's how much I trust his judgment. And I mean, I was actually nervous because I'm like, oh my God, I've already, done fallen. I'm already falling for this man. Like, what if they're like, because your mother's always a harder sell. Your mother's typically more protective over her daughter, and dads are protective too. But I was like, oh, I'm like, once he meets Donovan, I'm gonna get, see what he says. And they met. And
the rest is history on that.
History.
He loved me.
He did. And not only did he love him, he told me that God has done this. He said to me, a lot of people don't realize when they get what they pray for. He said, I really like him for you. He said, God is all over this. That came from my father. So
not along with the fact that I was already speaking it into existence.
Yeah.
I was already on my man, standing 10 toes down, not backing down from what I felt for Letitia.
Yeah.
I would tell her before even the discussion came through her father, where she was going to be in my life, where I put her on a pedestal in my life, how she filled so many voids, how she was my calm place. So my confidence was on a high level, because I know how I am. I know my work ethic. I know what type of caliber person that I am. And I know what my relationship with God is also. So I didn't second guess it. I wasn't stumbling over my words or anything of that sort. I just knew what I knew. And I kept God first in it. I would speak it every day. So, of course, like I said, he loved me. And that was a plus, a check mark. Because she had already said I checked off every box anyway. She had already said that.
You checked off more boxes than I. Yeah.
And she did the same thing for me.
Yeah. I was amazed. Like, what?
And this is why we say, the transition, us growing together, becoming one, it was so smoothly.
Yeah.
It wasn't any obstacles or bumps in the road.
And even the little obstacles, I guess not obstacles, the little bumps that were there was just us getting, like, I guess I want to say pinching ourselves and getting acclimated to the fact that this is real. You know what I mean? So, because there was like, okay, is this really real? Like, is this actually happening? So that was kind of like, I think for us, some of the hurdles that we had to cross was actually realizing, like, this is real. Like, I'm real, you're real. We really feel this way about each other. It's not a game. And God has actually done this. So,
and the biggest thing that we both had to take from this was our past experiences. You all need to understand from this point of it.
Yeah.
Our past experiences is what strengthened us.
Yeah.
Strengthened our relationship, not only with us, but it was with God first. It was where we had to go first in order for us to even grow together like we have. So
absolutely.
Again, and this is why we seem so, when you all are looking at us here on our channel, it's why it looks like we are so close knit. Why nothing even bothered us. Why it's a smooth sail on our end. And the reason that is because we learn from our past. And we not only tell each other, but we have already told ourselves what we're not going to repeat.
Right.
And I think that's the biggest thing that I can tell our family that's watching today going forward in your relationships. Do not repeat what you have been through. Learn what you have been through. Do not bring your past into your present or future relationship. It is not going to work. Because that person is not your past. They can't live through your past. They just can't. They are not responsible for your past hurts.
And you know what? That doesn't take away from things that might trigger you.
Right.
You may have triggers. You may have things that seem like something that you went through before, or this seems like, an experience I had before. It gives me a feeling that this, but you have to remember, like Babe said, everybody is different. Everybody is, you got to give love a chance. And it doesn't mean that you turn a blind eye to things. It doesn't mean that you just ignore things that are obvious, but at the same time, you have to recognize within yourself when you are operating out of the trauma or pain of your past, so to speak. You have to recognize when you're bringing those old behaviors into your current situation. But here's the other thing I do want to say too about this, babe. Honestly, when God does it, it's so much easier to recognize those things, because how do I put this? The beauty and the joy of what God has done in your relationship far outweighs any triggers or any things you or any possible fear that you may have. Right. So you easily spot it. You may not spot it at that second, but you will spot it sooner than later, and you'll be able to come back and say, okay, I know what that thing was. That was from when I went through that situation back there. We had a situation similar to that. And I told you about, something that triggered me, and you had to tell me I'm not that person.
Right.
And I had to come back to the realization okay, yeah, he's not. So these are conversations and things that happen, but you have to catch them when they do happen and not sort of sit in that and let that, take a hold of your relationship and suffocate what God is doing. But again, I'm a firm believer that when God does it, you will get through those things.
And the other thing is also when she was having those moments, you also have to know, you have to do your homework. You have to know who you're connecting with. Mm-hmm. Is the person that you're with or trying to have a long-term relationship or going into a marriage for a lifetime, is this person willing to stick those troubled times out?
Yep. Yeah.
Those are the biggest points.
That's big.
In a relationship going into a marriage.
That's big.
A lot of people get married just to get divorced, and that saying is you're not getting married to get divorced. For us, divorce is not an option.
No. Well, a lot of people get married I think that the older you get, the more wisdom that you have. And this is not knocking younger couples that get together and will be together forever. But I'm just saying, for some of us, the life that we experienced prior to each other has brought us to this place of understanding and wanting to make this work by any means necessary, not to the point of to your detriment, but if you know you have a good thing, then you work through that stuff. Like
Right.
I've learned how to deal with, his moods when he might be in a bad mood. I can tell when something is bothering him, when something is on his mind, when something is troubling him. Even if he says I'm okay, I can tell that it's not okay. So you just have to learn each other. It's like, you're going to spend the rest of your life with this person. You learn the person and how they are, and you just do whatever is necessary to make the situation better. Because again, like you said, babe, we teammates.
Right.
So if I know that my teammate is hurting, or I know that my teammate is going through something, maybe dealing with some trauma from his past, then it's my job to maybe just be an ear, maybe just come in and just maybe not say a whole lot at the moment, and just be there to be understanding, not judgmental, any of that. Because when I was going through my stuff and I felt like I was getting triggered, and I was like, oh, maybe, I was thinking the worst of him sometimes. And it was really just my past experiences coming back to haunt me. And I had to always be like, wow, because the thing that helped me though was his consistency. He remained consistent in every single way. He never changed. He never wavered. He didn't lie to me. Like, everything was so transparent. Like, my fears were always put at ease. Everything was always just right there. Like, any question I had, it was always right there. And we had deep, deep talks. Gigi. They said they want to see Gigi, babe. They did say that in the comments. Oh, here's Gigi, y'all. Y'all said y'all want to see her. And I'm going to put her down in a second. But y'all said y'all want to see her. She want to get up here so bad. I'm like, baby. But that's the other thing. Gigi loves him too. Gigi fell in love with him. Even though she get on his nerves sometimes. Because Gigi is just such a lover. But, okay, Gigi, that's enough. So here, I'm going to let you get over here. So part of, what was I saying?
See, if you hadn't picked Gigi, you would have still been in motion.
You right. We never tell y'all this, but we're going to say it today. If you enjoy watching us, and if you like what you see, if you get some laughs, if you get blessed by what it is that we are doing, go ahead and like, subscribe, comment, ask questions. I'm going to get to your questions. I'm going to answer them. We are just so thrilled to have y'all on this journey with us, y'all. Almost 7,000 subscribers in 7 days. My God, what? Won't God do it?
Won't he do it?
Won't he do it?
Won't he?
I never, listen, and I was telling him, like, babe, we need to start a YouTube channel because I want people to see how funny you are. I wanted people to experience what I experienced and be blessed by him. I've been telling him forever we got to do this. And so now we're doing it. And so you guys have come along for the journey. And we appreciate you so much. So
we do. Like,
comment,
subscribe.
And until next time, we'll see y'all soon. Bye.